What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is CountVonCount. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades, is Domantas. Is from the team UCA. The map is Alfheim. It's currently 1-2-0 for Domantas here. Played exceptionally well on that Ghost Lake map, managing to take the game off of the expert or the Gosu CountVonCount. We'll see if CountVonCount can adapt here. Alfheim's a very, very strong map for Isis and Egyptian in general, because generally speaking, you get things like this. Get things like these back gold mines here. Very difficult to kick off this gold mine with all the choke points you can create. You get a wall here, get a wall here, place a migdol here. How do you get through that? It's very difficult. Also, in combination with the town center here, it's going to be very, very nice. So CountVonCount should be okay in this game for gold. So we should see a relatively decent game then. We'll see if Domantas can adapt and maybe show a little bit of something that he's been working on with his Hades here. So Hades going to be moving, doing that standard 5 villages food, 3 villages wood, potentially 3 villages gold, maybe 2 villages gold. We'll see if he decided to go fast or not. Has this back hunt? Has he spotted this hunt yet? Has not spotted the hunt yet, but he will. He's about to just before this expires, which is going to be very, very nice. He would have had to move forward to this deer, which is very far away. Going to be able to move into this deer and then potentially grab this deer away from his opponent, because this does look like, funnily enough, this does look like it is CountVonCount's deer. Now, CountVonCount's finally found his elk, but he does have access, kind of has access to this elk, and this elk is looking like it's going to be Domantas's. So we'll see what happens there. We are moving those villages forward. Only 2 villages on the gold, so he is going for that faster advance time. Unfortunately, some of those villagers are missing their deer there, and having a bit of a not very good what do you call it? Deer dead gather point. I don't know. Whatever. Let's check out how our scouting is going. Looks like Domantas is being pretty methodical with it. Just going back and forth, trying to scout every part of the map as best as he possibly can. CountVonCount, on the other hand, is moving his obelisks around here. He has spotted that this location is going to be getting grabbed by Domantas here, and the priest is going up over here. He doesn't have any wood. Oh, he's getting 1 wood. Excuse me. He does need to get that monument and those houses up. Does this work? 36 seconds and then the house. I think he's going to get housed here. Let me think quickly. You got 2 villages for this monument and then 2 villages for this monument. That's definitely housed. Definitely needs to get another villager pronto. By the time, essentially needs to be starting this second house as soon as 17 population hits. If he doesn't, he's going to get housed, which is going to be unfortunate there for CountVonCount. We'll see if he does recognize that or not. Has a couple of he's going to be moving this priest up to this corner here. Not going to see all too much from in this location here. There's not a lot. He does see a gold mine. Hasn't spotted this gold mine yet though, so hopefully he does spot that one. House is going up now. Second villager is going to be popping out fairly soon, and then as you can see, going to be a little bit of population block here, which is going to be slightly unfortunate. Or am I wrong? I could potentially be wrong here. Just a little bit of correct. Hey, I know this game relatively well. That feels good, man. That feels good. CountVonCount, obviously not the player. He used to be a little bit rusty. And we'll see if that matters all too much in this game. Domantas is going for actually not as fast as an... Oh, he did get Ajax, so it is pretty fast. He's going to be moving forward and trying to push off this food here. Ajax has 9 attack in the Classical Age as opposed to like the Extended Edition where you get a bit of a debuff in the what do you call it, the Archaic Age. Did just force drop those resources there in an attempt to get to the next age, and with the Catastrophic Scout and the Ajax, is going to force these laborers back into the base of CountVonCount. CountVonCount has, for some reason, no villages on gold right now. I'm just perplexed at what is going on in this game. These villagers do manage to get away with their life, but the big story there is the amount of resources lost by not gathering this is huge. So Domantas taking the 150 gold early is going to be really, really nice for him. But Bast is coming. He's got only the one monument at this moment because he hasn't had that extra food income. Domantas is going to be going for a second town center straight away. It will just be which town center. He's got the resources for it. Takes villagers off gold, and he's going to be grabbing this town center here. This town center isn't as useful as the other game. This may be a bit of a difference here. This town center only really controls wood, so he's going to have to somehow control his own wood, and he's going to be dealing with like a Sphinx running around dealing some damage. We do see that the scout is running through the base of CountVonCount. So unless you don't run it past the town center, you never take any damage from these watchtowers. It's always very nice until Crenellations is up. To be sure there. Cryon is out, and we are seeing him run straight to this second town center to see what CountVonCount is up to. We just see the armory going up. We see another granary houses going up still, but no second monument. So we're just doing a standard fast heroic off of one town center. And we are seeing that the current trying to be a little bit naughty here, running through the base of CountVonCount. We see that with the watchtower trying to pick off the labor. Sorry, with the watchtower trying to pick off the Chiron there. I actually feel like that was potentially in the favor of the laborer with one watchtower in order to kill off this Chiron. And Domantas grabs Osberg, maybe Osberg. I don't know, Osberg wagon, which is going to be great for him if he can start using the early trade route. So we'll see what happens. He also got Harmonia's necklace. There's so many good relics on this map. We've got Blue Crystal Shard in the corner. And Tusk, oh my god, this is like the relic dream. If you get all these relics, that's absolutely brutal. If we jump over to Domantas' perspective, he hasn't seen all of them, but he's going to be grabbing Tusk of the Iron Boar. And he might grab Blue Crystal Shard a little bit later. That's crazy. That's really, really strong relics for Domantas in this game. He is chucking up those two stables and he's going to be grabbing an archery range when he can afford it. Domantas is going to be sitting in a really nice position. He has not been touched just yet, so his economy is feeling real good. CountVonCount, on the other hand, is gathering from one cow. He's going to be able to advance from it though, and he's probably going to just shift villagers over to wood and over to gold and go from there. This game is a little bit different from last game though, because he's going to be able to get this pharaoh to empower. So this gold, with 20 villagers gathering gold, is going to be quite a lot of income. He can also grab farms because he's going to be he's not going to be able to leave his base in order to do much. So all of these villagers on gold right now is mostly for farms, I think, early farms. He's going to grab a plow, maybe. No plow just yet, but he is going to be chucking those farms up slowly. You don't really have to have that many if you're going to just be going for wood and gold-based army. You can kind of just put like maybe 4 or 5, but probably 5 villagers on the farms, and then the rest onto the other ones, and you're gonna have villager production, constant villager production, and constant chariot arch production. So that's going to be huge, and if it's going to work or not, we'll see. It's definitely difficult to hurt CountVonCount in this situation because he's not leaving his base, which is always an issue for a lot of newer players to the game. It's like they actually feel like they have to deal damage to the Egyptian to be ahead, because generally speaking, it's easier to control the Egyptian economy than anyone else's. So you always feel like you're behind if you haven't hit them or hurt them. But that's actually not the case. You can just maintain your economy in a good fashion, and you should be able to keep up with an Egyptian player. We are seeing that Domantas is moving over onto this granary. And he's actually still hunting, so that's really big. He's chucking up some walls everywhere, so that's going to be nice for him. CountVonCount has seen this gold mine though, and he is building the Migdos stronghold on this gold mine, so he has actually managed to secure a gold mine at this point. And he's going to be building some cavalry and some chariot archers. I do think he should not be building that cavalry. He does not have enough food in order to keep that going, and he's actually auto-queued it, so that's going to be a little bit unfortunate. So he's going to have potentially some weird issues with his villager production there. Getting the siege workshop as well. So this is going to be what we were talking about in that last game, with things that CountVonCount could have done had he not been been hurt so much by those early aggression of the food there by the Ajax and the Chiron. So he's going to be getting the Siege Workshop out. He's going to be getting the archery, the Chariot Archers out. And he's got a couple of cavalry as well in order to deal with those Hippicons. So now he's going to be attempting to do some sort of Ancestors Eclipse timing push onto the second town center. But there's so many walls right now that that's actually going to be pretty difficult to get there. And we are seeing that Domantas' army is nothing to be laughed about there. Chariot Archers are coming out, so they're going to be maybe turning, retreating, that kind of vibe. Both players are going to be trying to be as active as possible. But the longer that you wait on this attack, the less it does, because the longer you have this town center up, the more economy you have, which means the more resources you have, which means the more military you can produce. And yeah, so we'll see if CountVonCount can make anything happen with this, or if Domantas can defend. Domantas does have access to Sentinels and access to Restoration, so it's potential that, oh no, it looks like yeah, Domantas is already, he's way ahead of this. He's actually really smart. Gathering gold from out here instead of in the base is always a really, really good thing. If you can gather gold from outside of your base early, it means that your opponent's timings get thrown off completely, because generally speaking, your gold mine in your base is going to be expired at about the 10:30, 11-minute mark. But Domantas is throwing that off by going for his little outside gold mine early, which means no gold mine expiry at that 11-minute mark, getting through Aphrodite as well. His army has been caught a little bit here. This is really nice play from CountVonCount, attacking at two different places at once, picking off a couple of Toxotes and forcing the Hippicon to fight the Cavalry and the Sphinx and Scorpion Men. That's a lot of damage that they just got. I can't speak right now. That's a lot of damage that they just took there. So we'll see, is Aphrodite enough here? We've got the Siege Towers moving in. It's definitely going to be Ancestors Eclipse coming down. This is going to happen before Aphrodite, but Aphrodite is going to come, and then he can cast Restoration and cast Curse and potentially survive this. We'll see if that happens or not. Siege Towers, awfully strong units. The villagers have lost a small buff onto them. We see the Sentinels do come down preemptively, and unfortunately the Sentinel does not spawn in this location because there was a house in the way. So only one Sentinel is going to be attacking a Siege Tower at this point. We do see the priests are attacking that Minotaur there. As I was saying, villagers don't have their full attack in Voobly Balance Patch 3.0 onto the Siege Tower, so it does a little bit of damage. Curse needs to go down straight away. I love that. Curse goes down, Ancestors Eclipse goes down. No time for the Restoration there, and it looks like this fight is going to be really difficult for Domantas to hold on to. He's going to be losing his armory right there. These Siege Towers kicking off everything, and Watchtower is going to be going down. The Ancestors Eclipse are going to be chasing those Hippicon away. Hippicon can run through this wall there. Definitely want to keep as many of these alive as possible. Domantas is sitting at 95 or 110 population. The villagers are attempting to take off these Siege Towers, and it looks like the town center is taking a lot of damage right now. But the villagers not being good enough here, need to be attacking the next Siege Tower. If this town center falls, this is going to be absolutely brutal, and Domantas is going to be in a lot of pain there. The Nemean line is out, but these priests, they don't have funeral rites, but they still do a lot of damage. And there's also the minions here, which can come in and pick off those Nemean lines as well. The villagers are trying to pick off the Siege Towers. There's just too many Siege Towers. Siege Towers do manage to pick off that town center there. Where is the Hippicon? All the Hippicon look like they have been picked off as well. And it looks like Domantas' food income was all in this location. Well, he's got a couple of food villages over here, but this looks like it's way too much for Domantas right now. And he's going to have to figure out a way to continue in this game. A second town center is being grabbed now by CountVonCount. He's moving in. He's putting the choke hold onto Domantas. Domantas is trying to defend here. His Chiron is under fire. His Ajax gets taken off. The stable still can't manage to keep that one up. Can start building some of those Peltas, though. He is in that second age, but it looks like he's continuing with those Toxotes. Definitely want to grab those Peltas because there's so many Chariot Archers. And definitely need to get out some more of those Hippicon. We see some farms getting thrown down by Domantas. Domantas can build some Nemean lines as well. That'll definitely help, especially if you can pick off those priests. But the second town center for CountVonCount has been grabbed, and then he can also start working away at this town center as well to check out CountVonCount's economy. It's absolutely booming. 15, 10, 15. CountVonCount. Domantas, on the other hand, 6, 24, 8 at the moment. Absolutely brutally far behind, and it looks like even more villagers are going to be getting picked off here. They are going to attempt to run outside the wall here, but I don't see where you're going with those. And these Chariot Archers, you can just send a couple around there and start picking them off. It looks like he's going on to the other side of the pine trees. I'm not sure about that at all. Looks like CountVonCount taking a little bit of a breather here. I'm not sure if that's what you really want to be doing. Because if you give Domantas a breather, it means he can get an army back, which then means basically he can use that restoration and start putting some real pain onto your army and maybe control some sort of the location with that restoration. But see what happens here. We've got a couple more of these villagers are going back into the town center. He's got a lot of military buildings up at this point, and his economy is sort of stabilizing. He's got quite a few villagers on the farms. I did not see plow. He does not have plow. He does have a granary though, so he could build that plow. Must have forgotten. Definitely want to use that restoration and make this push in order to get this town center back up. And we do see the siege towers have eyed this one off. Don't want to let that one up at all. He's got these Supercon attempting to pick off all of these units here, but there we go. Restoration does go down. Does not help the town center going up at all, but will definitely help out with this attack here. It looks like CountVonCount doesn't care too much. Wants to stay in here. Keep fighting away. He's got so many siege towers to be tanking damage, so many chariot archers to pick off these medium hippocon. The villagers are pumping out here. Trying to pick off these siege towers, but it looks like there's been potentially just too many chariot archers in this location. Domantas sitting at 78 population, CountVonCount sitting at 105 population, and he can actually start building those cavalry now without any fear of villagers not being produced from his town center. And he's going to be able to move in, pick off some more of these villagers, pick off some of this army. Cavalry is getting focused when he's running away. Not something you want to be doing. Looks like the villagers do manage to grab one siege tower kill there, so he can keep on. So Domantas can keep trying to get this town center up and picking off siege towers as they run in and try and pick it off. But then then that 300 wood, 300 gold, 100 wood food is going to be wasted doing that. So yeah, pretty brutal right now for Domantas. He is now the score's changing. It looks like the economy has finally taken over for CountVonCount there. Kind of the first score lead we've seen from CountVonCount. Domantas is falling ever so slightly behind here in economy, and his military units are getting picked off like flies. There's so many chariot archers here, but it does look like he managed to hold on fairly decently at this point. But we can see that the third town center is now going up for CountVonCount as well, and he's just plugging ahead as if it's a normal game, trying to get further and further ahead. And he knows how to win a game, that's for sure. CountVonCount knows how to win a game. And he's going to be trying to move in as well, picking off every single unit. Domantas trying to defend here. He's got a bunch of villages over here. He does have the market. Could think about going through to that mythic age, and there could potentially be a comeback there. Oh, no, looks like Domantas says, okay, I give up. That's GG. Let's just check out the post-game here. I think the military was just absolutely brutal there for CountVonCount. Yeah, 92 killed to 56. And that just comes down to, I feel like Domantas should have sniffed out the Ancestors Eclipse and cast Restoration as soon as the army moved in order to get his units back to full HP. Because there was a lot that were really hurt by Scorpion Man and things like that. And the Restoration, while you can't use it during the Eclipse, the Ancestors Eclipse, I mean, you can if you can get it in the center of it, but that's not something you should be playing for because you can't guarantee that's going to happen. But you can use it slightly before the fight and then really attack your opponent. So at the very least, you would have delayed the Ancestors Eclipse a little bit and got some more units out. But unfortunately, Domantas not being able to defend against that push there, and CountVonCount was able to take the game with his timing push, one town center, Ancestors Eclipse, Chariot Archer, Siege Tower, attack was too much. Well played there. It's currently 1-1 in this best of 3 series between CountVonCount and Domantas. If you enjoyed the game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you enjoyed this video and want to see them as soon as they come out. My name is Boit, and I will see you guys next time.